Everything. Everything. Oh.
Don't do that, baby.
Oh.
What gonna do?
Suck it to me. Oh. Oh. So horny. Oh. So horny. Oh. So horny. We love you long time. Oh. So horny. Oh. So horny. Oh. So horny. We love you long time. So horny. So horny. So horny. We love you long time. So horny. So horny. So horny. We love you long time.
Sitting at home with my dick on hard. So I got the black book for a freak to call. Picked up the telephone, then dialed the 7-digit. Said, yo, this Marquise, baby, are you down with it? I arrived at a house, knocked on the door, not having no idea of what the night had in store. I'm like a dog in heat, a freak without warning, not having appetite for sex. Cause me so horny.
Oh, he's so horny. Oh, he's so horny. Oh, he's so horny. We love you long time. Oh, he's so horny. Oh, so horny. Oh, he's so horny. We love you long time.
Girls always ask me why I fuck so much. Just say what's wrong, baby doll, with a quick nut. Cause you're the one, and you shouldn't be mad. I won't tell your mama if you don't tell your dad. I know he'll be disgusted when he sees your pussy busted. Won't your mama be so mad if she knew I got that ass? I'm a freak indeed, a dog without warning. My appetite is sex, cause me so horny.
Oh, he's so horny. Oh, he's so horny. Oh, he's so horny. We love you long time. Oh, he's so horny. Oh, so horny. Oh, he's so horny. We love you long time.
You can say I'm desperate, even call me perverted, but you say
Oh my gosh, it's great to be back. It's great to be back, folks. Welcome back to the All American Savage Show with your half-blind host, John Burke, here with my beautiful bearded heterosexual Jewish life partner, Josh, operating this control. That Josh, like, he was going through his workout playlist, and we went from like some classic tunes to some really focused meditation style music to boom, he hits me with that. It's like, let's fucking roll with it. We'll do that as the intro. That's good.
Yeah, I thought it was
I
funny.
can dig that. Oh my god. I'm glad to be back with you folks. Took a little break. Still kind of blind in my right eye. For those that don't know, I went and had LASIK surgery done. Doctor looked at both the eyes, like, you don't need it in your left, you need it in your right. And then he proceeded to jerk off. No, not really. Jerk off my face.
You're like, how many fingers can you see?
Open your mouth. I'm working on my eyes. But he did that one. Day 0, the surgery went. I don't even know if I can really classify it as a surgery. It was a laser.
Yeah.
And he numbed the eye. And then he slid me under the laser. I looked into the laser. It was like a little red dot. Think of like looking at the center of a light bulb, that little twisty thing there where the electricity connects and causes the light. It was like looking at a red version of that, and then you hear it, and that's when it's actually doing the cutting.
Yeah.
And so what nobody told me about or what to expect was, number one, it was painless. Didn't feel anything, which was great. He did the numbing agent on the eyeball. And the cool thing was the laser, if you blink, stops. It will not cut if there's anything. And it's hyper focused on your actual pupil. So if you move at all, it stops cutting immediately. So you can't damage yourself. So when I looked into it, I started doing the cutting. What they didn't tell you about, though, is the smell of the burning flesh or the burning eyeball. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, that was the weird part. Immediately after the surgery, no pain. As the day went on, the numbing agent starts to wear off, and you feel like there's a scratch on your eyeball, and it starts to sting, and it starts to water, and it's almost like dealing with hay fever, when your eyes get really puffy and swollen. Day 2 was the worst. Day 2, it was itchy as fuck. You're having to put drops in every hour, on the hour, a steroid, a lubricant drop, a gel drop. It's just everything. And so your eye's in a constant state of just inflammation, if you will. Day 2, my eyelids were so puffy and swollen, my eye was almost swollen closed. So I just put an eye patch on because there was no point trying to open in the eye. And also the daylight hurt. So it was like, keep your eye closed, keep it covered. Got a lot of great comments on that one. A lot of comparisons to Dan Crenshaw. That was great. Saw that one coming.
I thought it was going to be more like pirate of the butt variety.
Bro, you should see. I knew that was coming because I posted a picture wearing the eye patch, and I didn't even say anything about Crenshaw. And everybody's like, "Oh, it's Crenshaw." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "Yeah, I had that. I had a feeling that was going to happen." But today is day 4. The surgery's on Thursday. I go in today at around 2 to get the. He put a contact lens in there to serve as like a Band-Aid over the pupil, and that gets removed today. And that, I think, I want to say that's the most irritable part of it all, because I've never worn contacts. I don't like contacts because my eyes are very sensitive to that. So like day 2, I woke up, or day 3 rather, I woke up to let Athena out to use the restroom, and I mindlessly went up to just rub my eye because it itched a little bit, and I forgot about it, and it hurt so bad. The stinging sensation just hit me. I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I just reopened it back up. So I'm in there like dousing it with freaking drops and stuff. Today's not bad. Like I said, going to get the contact out. He said vision should be returning within weeks to a few months, and you basically, the cells rebuild, and he essentially just lasered in the prescription to the eye, and that's all it was. So yeah, the aftercare is 10 times worse than the surgery itself.
Yeah.
And again, it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. That's what it is. It's nothing that you can't really handle. It's just fucking annoying. It is so annoying. And the weird part was when I would try to open it up, I felt a massive just shift in my equilibrium. I got dizzy in certain times. And it's just interesting to see how the body functions through our optical nerves when one is removed. Dude, I even started feeling weird pain through the side of my skull where my eye is. It's crazy. The intricacies of this and what happens when you lose an eye, I can only imagine. But yeah, so today I go in there, get that taken off. And I'm happy. I'm happy that it's done. So I got my nuts snipped. I got my eye taken care of. I think I'm pretty much good to go after this. I do need to do that penis reduction though. That's I keep hurting the ladies. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. I'm half black. I got banned on Twitter for that.
Did you?
I just came off of a weak Twitter ban because I was basically saying, or maybe it was Instagram, one of the two, where I said like, yeah, I'm half. No, it was Instagram. I made the post about being half black, referencing a large penis. Versus being Asian, it's a small penis. So, John Burke Uncensored, folks, right here. Hit that like button. We appreciate you being here. It's great to be back. I apologize for missing Drunken Debates. I hear Rob Noor did a wonderful job. I will be back this Friday. I don't know if I'm going to be a panelist or hosting because technically this was my turn to debate, but I was worthless, guys. I couldn't even focus. I'd be sitting there with an eye just running down. And people didn't know how to take me because I was like, do I wear my sunglasses out even in the gym and look like a fucking douchebag, or do I just go buy an eye patch from Party City and bedazzle the shit out of that thing and make fun of it? So I bought the eye patch from Party City, and people were kind of like, what happened? I was like, yeah, I lost it in the war. Buy me a drink. No, not really. I should have though. I totally should have milked the shit out of it because I got Athena. And people think Athena's a service dog, and she's not. She's just a great fucking dog. And she has this Kong vest on. Kong makes the dog toys. They're very popular. So people see her and like, oh, can I pet your service dog? It's like, she's not a service dog. She is not even trained like that. She's just a great fucking dog. So seeing the eye patch, seeing the service dog, oh my gosh.
A little extra attention.
Whew, people are
This
so...
coffee's on the house, buddy.
Bro, people are so nice to you when you have a disability. Like, I kind of thought about just keeping the eye patch on. I was like, this is nice.
Got the wheelchair out.
Oh my God, they're opening the doors. They treat you like royalty at Buc-ee's. Like, how can I help you, sir? Just like throw on a grunt style t-shirt and fuck, I ain't paying for shit for the next at least 5 years. Might as well do it. Milk the shit out of it. Liberals do it. Why not?
Hey.
So, no, I'm glad it's over though. I'm glad it's over. I should have got this done a lot sooner because we're going to Argentina end of next month, and I want to be able to have clear vision, be able to see everything. So yeah, there's that. But anyway, wait, folks, it is January 16th. We are already in 2023. We're halfway through the first month. Man, time is flying.
Sure is, buddy.
Straight to the end times. And thank God. God come quick. Because good Lord, you look at the condition of our society. Got some great news today. Got some good news from the UK. Got some good news from America. But before we get to that, if you're watching on Rumble, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. That helps us. Tell your friends about the show. Let them know that we're here doing this. We are not funded by anybody. We are completely void of any types of sponsorships relating to any type of political movements or organizations. Therefore, you can guarantee the fact that Josh and I are going to come with our own individual interpretations of these topics that we're discussing. We do our best to prevent bias from overtaking us. Sometimes we're guilty of it, as are we all, because we're all humans. But we are not funded like the likes of Turning Point and Fox News and the rest of them to preach more pro-Trump and things such as that propaganda. You're going to get it from both barrels on this podcast show. Whatever you want to talk about, we're going to give you an honest version because we're not loyal to anybody. So anyway, hey, we're giving away a brand new iPhone 14. In case you haven't noticed, this is the advertisement portion of the podcast. We're giving away a free iPhone 14. somebody's winning it. The way to enter, it's just this simple. Spend $50 or more at shellshockcbd.com. Here's a great way to do it. Our gummies, our Halo Delta 8 gummies, we have the Halos that are 25 milligrams, and then we have the Ultra Halos that are 50 milligrams. This is like concentrate THC. Yes, this will get you stoned. Make no ifs, ands, or buts about this. If you're looking to get high, we've got you covered. Yes, it's legal. Delta 8 is illegal in about 17 states, but we also have Delta 9, which is legal in almost 48 states. So if you can't get Delta 8 where you're at, buy the Delta 9 airborne gummies. We got you covered. Yes, you will fail a drug test. Yes, this will get you stoned as fuck. But here's the deal. Buy one bag. I think one bag's like 50, 60 bucks, and it's a month's worth. And you're automatically entered to win. Now, the best part about this, folks, our gummies come with a money-back guarantee. If they don't work or do as we advertise them to do, we will give you your money back. It's just that simple. Josh and I are that confident in our products, and we're excited to do this. And we want to say thank you for supporting us and our amazing products. And without further ado, let's get into the news, folks. That last intro was just the greatest thing ever. Like, Josh didn't know what the fuck he's doing. I was like, you know what? We're just going to make that the intro to the podcast. We'll roll with that. Oh, my God.
Nailed it once again.
So, transgender Miss Universe owner's woman speech raises eyebrows on Twitter. He is, in fact, a man.
No.
So, apparently, the Miss Universe pageant has now been bought by a transgender person. Oh, this is going to go insanely well. This is the thing. Before we even get to the transgender madness of this entire article, I continue to be amazed at the fact that liberals are still buying into this and just, clapping, shadow clapping. Oh, just so commendable, so brave. It's like you are literally in a competition that's comparing woman against woman based upon beauty that they're blessed with. In many cases, they have surgically altered. You want to talk about celebrating the most fakest of our society, the most worthless competition. I'm sorry, very rarely do I ever, if in fact ever I have, watched this stupid show. This stupid show. I don't understand how. It's kind of like this back and forth. We talk about drag shows, how they're just ridiculous, and they include children. And then the left rebuts with, well, what about child beauty pageants? And then we rebut with, no, you're right. I agree. That's equally as disturbing. And then they turn around and praise the Miss America, Miss Universe. It's like, what is the premise of the show? You are literally pitting woman against woman, and now a man pretending to be a woman, against other women based upon looks. Do you not see how just shallow this is? How ignorant this is. But did you see Miss Ukraine? Because it went viral. She comes out in like this war thing, blah, blah, and everybody's like, oh, yes. It's like, I'm sorry, but you're getting your asses kicked by the Russians, and you're sitting here applauding this like this. Oh, it's like, shouldn't she be on the front line fucking fighting? Your country's being invaded. You've got your president going to Congress, doing Vogue photo shoots. Meanwhile, I'm in this this Telegram channel that has all the videos from Ukraine, and the press ain't showing you half of what's going on over there. Russians are tearing them up.
Yeah.
They are tearing them up. But the press is not going to show you that. Now, that's not a matter of like, oh, yeah, good for Russia. It's just saying like the truth is the truth and should be reported accordingly. They are lying about a lot. But there was a lot of Russian propaganda as well. So it's like we're faced with the same scenario, the same situation that we are in the American media. Who's telling the truth?
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be over in just a few weeks.
Oh, didn't General Miley say it would be? I mean, to be fair, I did too.
I don't know. Seems
Miley
like they
said
just
no.
needed a war to make some money.
Looks that way. But now Ukraine is hiring out PMCs, private military contractors, and the Americans are going to jump all over this. Look for a three-letter agency, or not three-letter, look for the Blackwater area kind of guys, or Triple Canopy, whatever they're called these days. And I'm not knocking it. You want to go over there and fight for money. I think that's a little bit more honorable than going over there and fight for Ukraine, because it's like Ukraine's corrupt. This whole thing's bullshit. And go over there and make some bank, man. Go kill some people, make some bank, do what you want to do. I mean, that's capitalism at its core. You got to love it. It's like, you mean I can get paid to kill Russians? Ooh, how much we talking here? Wolverines. I have 2 or 3 personal friends that I serve with that are over there right now. And the amount of just grandstanding and virtue signaling is just disgusting. Which just goes to show you that the combat veteran of my generation is just as easily manipulated into this social media, just look at me mentality. This one dude's posting like he's holding like an AK. He's like waiting for the Russians don't know what's coming, and he's over there. It's like, bro, your uniform is clean. That weapon is clean. You've got no dirt on your face. We both served together in Iraq. We both know you're full of shit. You're not fighting. Like, don't fucking lie about this.
Do they have to follow certain rules when they go over there?
No.
Or is it just go over there and...
Well, they basically hand you an AK-47, whatever shit gear they've got, and say go to the front. Think Russian front in World War II. There's your rifle, there's ammunition, go to the front and fight. So from the movies and everything they've been showing in that Telegram channel and stuff like that,
Like, you don't have to...
you're not getting any training. You're not getting any training. You show up, you're handed an AK, go to town.
That's
so the
it?
same
They don't
government...
get some sort of briefing about
Oh,
what's
yeah.
going on?
They say, well, my buddies that did go over there, basically, or one of the guys that I know that was, he contracts over there. He was with Spec Ops and then he went over there as a contractor. And he said they got paid a lot of good money. He said, but realistically, no, you're assigned to a certain group and guess who's at the front line? It ain't the Ukrainians, it's your ass. Think of how the English used the Irish for many generations. They put them on the front. They would be in the worst fighting areas because the Irish to the English back in the day were expendable. You're no different. Ukrainians are going to put you at the front. So go fight and die for it. And there's already Americans dying. It's like, good for you. You died for nothing, you fucking idiots. Like, you learned nothing from the Afghan-Iraq war. I'm fortunate enough to have made it out alive. Thank you, Jesus. But, like, you really want to go die for these corrupt individuals? It's still beyond me. But I love how we went from transgender, Miss Universe, over to Ukraine. We're all over the place, folks. We're all over the place.
Well, it was the Ukrainian lady that came out there wearing
That's
a war
true.
suit.
And then the
so, like,
American one, like liberals.
I didn't see any of it. I don't
Oh,
know
bro.
that
It's just
stuff.
only because it was posted all over Instagram and Twitter. It's the only reason I saw it. I don't watch this bullshit. But America goes out there and she's wearing the most awkward getup and ensemble. It's over the top. And she's like having trouble walking. So that takes away from the presentation of it. And she's holding like, I forget what it is, but she just looks like something out of like a gay Power Rangers movie before they transform Mighty Morph, whatever it is. And it's the most embarrassing thing. And these liberals are sitting there, standing, just applauding. And it's like, oh, it's so brave. Look, the world, look at us. And meanwhile, they're over there fucking fighting and dying. Don't give two fucks about you.
Yeah.
I remember talking about this, not on the podcast, but back in like 2006, 2007, we had the same thing. It was the yellow bumper stickers. You remember that? Support the troops, support the troops. And I remember asking, it's just like, okay, but how are you supporting us? Like, are you sending us care package? Because if that's the case, that's awesome. You are supporting the troops. Slapping a bumper sticker on your car saying support the troops is just virtue signaling. You're not really doing shit. Like, I'm cool. Like, nobody fucking cares. You think some soldier in a guard tower in the middle of the desert is going to be just sitting there feeling down and depressed and violent going, he's like, I just can't take it. I miss my family. And then suddenly, the clouds part. And down comes this mental lightning bolt. And he thinks to himself, he's like, oh, but you know what? Somewhere there's like an 80-something blue-haired granny that's got a yellow bumper sticker on her car. And that just gives me all the closure I need to fight the fight. Fuck no, they don't give a shit.
Yeah, this outfit that Miss Ukraine is wearing,
It's fucking ridiculous.
big angel wings
Fucking
with
ridiculous.
some helmets on it, and
Oh my God.
she's supposed to be
Oh,
the Archangel Gabriel. Maybe?
Yeah, like God has anything to do with that area. Absolutely.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But anyway, let's get back on topic here.
Pageantry.
The new owner of Miss Universe gave a speech extolling the organization as run by women, for women, and composed of women as a trans woman.
Penis not included.
Ma'am, you've got a penis. No, you're a dude. You're a dude.
Or titties not included.
Titties not included. Oh my God. It's the truth. And here's the deal, folks. Make fun of them. Make fun of them. Bully them. They deserve it. I'm sorry. The transgender movement is a joke. It should not even be legal. It should be outlawed. This is mental delusion. This is disgusting. This is how American society is falling now. This is how world
it really
society is
is.
falling. I posted this tweet. This is a real tweet, and I love this. I'm surprised I haven't gotten banned on Instagram yet. Follow my backup, John Burke 1775 on Instagram. So this dude tweets out, and of course he's got the rainbow fruitcake flag in his bio, and he says, a trans woman, that's a dude that's too effeminate and not masculine enough to actually be a man, so he falls back on being a woman because he's a pussy. Not that women are pussies, that he can't hack it as a man, so this is what they're forced to do. A trans woman founded a group to help trans people leave the U.S. due to rising hate. Did anyone ever imagine that Americans would need asylum in other countries due to hate? Well, yeah, that's kind of how America was founded, number one, for religious prosecution. But two, tell me where we can fund this to make you go away, and please take the drag queens with you.
Yeah, no.
Ladies, this is primarily to you.
You know, no, I don't think anybody's going after transgender people. It's
I hope they
who
do.
was that?
I hope they do. I hope
what's
they're
her name?
Blair White?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on Twitter was saying nobody had a problem with drag queens or transgenders or any of that stuff until you start bringing it into the schools, start having children's shows and all that stuff. So that's where you really lost everybody. Nobody else cared what you did up until that point.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
where
if
you
you did care,
stop it.
Well, that's
it's
the thing,
women.
though. People did care, but they were accused of being Bible thumpers and stuff like that because ultimately their message was, we allow this, where does it stop? And we're literally seeing the results of that. And you look back and it's like, no, this is true. It started with let them get married, which again, I get liberty, I get all that stuff. But there comes a time where liberalism has taken such a deep root in this country that it went beyond. Well, let's look at the LGBT as a whole right now. Back when the gay rights thing was really being pushed for, and by the way, today is MLK Day, I believe. We're going to get to that. Oh, we got some jokes, folks. We got some jokes. And why? Because why are conservatives so afraid of being labeled racist if we don't kneel? And here's the deal with that. We'll get to it. Let me stay on track with this. But the emergence of the whole "let us get married" equality, when you had the LGBT parades and shit like that, it was never anything that was rooted in normalcy, in a sense of like dressing appropriate. And by appropriate, I'm not talking about wearing a burqa or a shmeg. I'm talking about just wearing clothing that covers your private areas. Gays don't do that. You've got to be flamboyant. The gay man in America is a different classification than men or woman. This person is so overly effeminate to attempt to basically bring attention to themselves. If that's homosexuality, you can keep it. You're being effeminate, you're being flamboyant for whatever reason, simply to draw attention to yourself because you're gay. That's all you do. That's why it's ridiculous. And that's why it's like a bane against the gay community, because they're like, there's a lot of gay people that don't act like this. Secondly, the immorality and degeneracy that was shown in public time and time again, especially in front of children, this was a massive indicator of how this movement is going to progress forward into degressing in America, or de-evolving in America, if you want to put it that way. Because now, folks, within 10, 15 years of the whole normalization of equality, yada, 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 this is what we're facing now. The whole catchphrase of love is secretly just a title for pedophilia. Love is love. Well, it started out that if I love another man, love is love. Fair enough. Do I think you're twisted? Yes, I do. Do I think it goes against the natural order? Yes, I do. Do I think you're born gay? No, I don't. I really don't. I'm just gonna admit that I don't think you're born gay. Secondly, the love is love. We need to break that down. When somebody says love is love, you're right. Love is love. But the target of your affection is paramount in this statement. If you are trying to target a child and saying love is love in a sexual nature, you should get a bullet in your head. And I am waiting, because it's coming. These trans activists, these drag queens in front of children, the cops aren't doing anything. Give it time. You're going to start seeing more shootings, more bombings. And at the same token, it's kind of like, well, this could have been avoided if the DOJ and the rest of them would have done their jobs. But now you left it up to society. And when society has to get involved, you're going to get the worst that human beings have to offer, because you can handle it through law enforcement in a normal, professional manner. When you are not doing your job, you're now forcing society, saying, we reject this as a whole. This small percentile of mentally deranged people that are having such a massive influence in our society that are now going after children need to be abolished. It needs to be abolished. Clearly, we couldn't handle this. Clearly, America cannot handle freedom. I'll be the first one to say it, folks. We can't handle freedom. Therefore, America does not deserve freedom. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. I don't know what you want me to tell you. And I mean that in the sense of like liberals. Liberals cannot handle freedom. And then there's the diehard extremist conservatives that want the religion forced on everybody. They can't handle freedom. So what happens is you have these two groups that are so ostracized and extreme on both ends that ruin it for the middle people that are kind of like, if we could just live and let live and not have this shit forced on people, we'd be fine. But we can't do that.
That's where they lose everybody.
They lose everybody. You have to force it. Yeah. It's just like, because people are kind of like, even in the Twitter comments, I see in a lot of these posts like, oh, where is this pedophilia at? I don't see it. It's like, because you got your head in the sand, dude. Yeah. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
You know, if they talk to police officers, and I have a stepbrother up in Columbus he works in that kind of stuff, and like, it's terrible the things that he comes across.
Oh, I believe it.
That he see, and it's more prevalent than people, like you said.
Oh yeah, I believe
even
it.
know about.
I believe it. It doesn't. Start a community on WhatsApp. We can start a community on WhatsApp. How many people use WhatsApp? The Lost Set. I should just call it John Burke. I'm going to do this, but would this actually use my phone number? I'll deal with this later. I'm getting updates on the Telegram just of what's going on, just the videos. I can't post. Well, here's the crazy thing I don't understand about Instagram. I posted the video from, I think it's Chasing Death. He gets banned as much as I do, who's a really good dude. He posted a video of this Russian soldier running up on a 2-man or 3-man Ukrainian fighting position, a little dug-in fighting position, and the guy just straight up smokes them. And
the Russian?
Yeah, the Russian smokes these guys. And it's a very, I'm telling you, I've seen this shit firsthand. And it's one of those things that you have to dehumanize your enemy and you have to animalize, or like, I don't know what the word for it is, remove your own humanity. That's what war is.
Yeah.
These are not human beings. They're the enemy. Therefore, when you put bullets in them and you see them die and the spirit and soul leaves the body, you can't focus on that. You literally have to move on. And that's what this dude did. But the point of this is that he posted this on Instagram. I shared it as well. You can post that. You can literally post people getting shot and killed, but God help you if you post anything against transgenders. God help you if you post anything against the LGBT, to include on Twitter. I made a tweet, and Elon Musk and the moderation team, they're still full of shit. I made a tweet talking about transgenderism is a mental disorder, and they still blocked my account for a week. So this free speech absolution, as I know, he's not, Elon Musk is full of shit. He's full of shit on this. But it's like, dude, your moderation team needs to step it the fuck up, because still, the idea that you can't even say that is just ludicrous. But anyway, welcome to the Miss Universe organization. JKN Global Group CEO Ann Jekarajudati. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Well, that's super fun to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Told the live audience at the 71st Miss Universe competition in New Orleans, our Bonnie Gabriel, a model, fashion designer, and sewing instructor, ultimately took the Miss Universe crown, beating out 83 other contestants. From now on, it's going to be run by women, owned by a trans woman. It's going to be run by a woman, owned by a man, pretending to be a woman, all around the world to celebrate the power of feminism. What exactly is it that feminism is bringing to the table outside of just being a massive fucking headache of you nagging cunts just whining all the time about the equality you think you don't have, yet you really do? And kind of part of me wants to see it taken away from you just so you can bitch and moan and complain about when it's actually not there. And this is why Americans cannot handle freedom.
Yeah, it's bringing more penises to the competition.
Instead of like empowering feminism, you just let men come in there and dominate. They're dominating the sports, and now they're dominating your beauty pageants. Men are hotter than women.
You do not see it the other way.
No.
You only see men dressing up as women, participating in women's.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever heard of a woman transitioning to a man and competing in. I mean, I know they do it.
Yeah, but it's you're right. It's something that you don't hear very much about.
You just don't.
Or at least they're not very successful.
Well, I mean, they transition from a woman, or they live as a man.
Yeah.
But being a woman, but they don't they don't break into sports and that kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe
because I get the shit kicked out of them.
To like lay bricks.
Let's go see a woman transition into a man and go play in the NFL. Come on, go do it in hockey.
Yeah.
Do it in hockey. And actually, they did do it in hockey in the transgender league, and these fucking women get the shit knocked out of them.
It was a transgender league.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was men dressing up as women.
Exactly. It was. You don't know which team these guys are playing for. It's like, what the fuck?
I get a pretty good idea which team they play for.
Gosh, look at this. UK conservative government to make conversion therapy for transgender individuals illegal. And I fully agree with this. Now, John, you're sounding like you're hypocritical on your liberty stance. Let me explain why on this. There was a time that our society, I would have endorsed this, say your body, your choice. I don't want to pay for it. Those days are gone. The reason I'm for banning of this is now that this immoral sickness has taken root in our society, the only way to fix this is to purge our society of this type of mental delusion. Therefore, these people need to be shipped off to other countries. If you want to get this done, go to a different country and fucking stay there. Yeah. Transgenderism should be illegal because you went after the children. You couldn't keep it at adults. You couldn't keep it there. You let it impact and influence every aspect of American culture and life. Therefore, I am against you. I do not like the trans movement. I don't give a fuck if you're conservative. I don't care. You are mentally delusional. The fact that your body and your mind are out of sync only proves that you've got a mental disorder. But now we celebrate this. We praise this. Oh, just such noble, heroic people. No, you need help. You need help. Mm-hmm. Well, transgenders have been around since society was born. So have homosexuals. That doesn't make it justified. It doesn't make it right.
So is schizophrenia.
Exactly. So have murderers. And I'm not saying that they're all akin to the same thing, but I am saying that you can just say like, oh, this has been around since that doesn't make it right. It certainly does not make it mainstream or normal.
I know.
So Britain's Conservative Party is planning to make it illegal to provide conversion therapy for individuals who identify as transgender, reports suggest. It will soon be illegal to try and change a transgender individual. I'm really in shock that the UK is aligned, because the UK, the Conservatives, I can understand. The Liberals over there, they arrest you if you say anything bad about trannies or transgenders, whatever you want to call them. Trannies is the same fucking thing.
Chicks with dicks,
one actually has the balls to go through the surgery and then proceeds to cut their balls off. So that's the difference between trannies and transgenders. One has balls, one to do it, and one doesn't. But after the fact, the one doesn't have. But it's gotta be your head of a bull's butcher's ass to get the bulls. Shut up, Richard.
Shut up, Richard.
Oh my God. Oh, good Lord. The coming bill represents only the latest of the Tory government's many pro-transgenderism maneuvers, with the party frequently empowering gender ideology at all levels of British life, despite the dangers it often poses to biological women. According to a report by broadcaster ITV, the bill is also set to make it illegal to try and change someone's gender identity, a key tenet of transgender ideology. Okay, so here's the thing with this, though. I'm not for banning things. I'm really not. Because here's the issue. We have hit a point now where we do have to have parallel economies. I don't want to support liberal businesses. I don't want to support these Democrats. Yeah. I find them to be the most perverse, disgusting people, and they feel the same way about me. That's why if there was ever a civil war, it's probably coming at this point. It's coming to the point. It's to the point now where there are so many liberals that view conservatives as cross-burning racists, yada, and then we view liberals as child-fucking, pedophile-loving, LGBT disgusting degenerates. We've come to a point that social media has magnified the loudest and dumbest voices on either side that has created so much angst and hate and just pushed so much just idiocy at the mass level. Mm-hmm. So it's like at this point, it's like you just let them just kill each other. It's like it's to the point now. It's like, bro, we can sit here and talk about this day after day after day. I can tell you every article in the news, everything that just makes it feels like we're further or we're closer, one step closer to the asteroid hitting, whatever you want to call it. The only way to fix this is violence. I'll be the first one to say it. Nobody else is going to say this. Shapiro, they won't say this because the violence should be the last resort. Folks, when the courts fail, when the cops fail, when the DOJ is weaponized, when the government is clearly tyrannical, what other option do Americans have? I saw a video on TikTok today.
You know what's upsetting about most of this is aside from the kids and all this other stuff.
Yeah, the kids are innocent.
Is that it's 7.1% of adults identify as LGBT.
Yeah.
So the
minority became the majority. Yeah.
Community
is like less than 1%.
Right.
Yeah.
And here we are wasting our time talking about it, but they somehow keep this in the forefront of everything.
Yeah.
To kind of like
the left uses it to showcase how bigoted the right is. The right uses it to showcase how degenerate and perverted the left is. And it's like a national divorce is definitely needed at this point.
It's a distraction from the things that are actually going on. Yeah. Of course, they would rather talk about trans and this kind of shit rather than Joe Biden hiding top secret documents on top of his fucking Corvette.
Well, we're going to get to that. But the UK government will supposedly crack down on biological males and women's sports as well. That's good. Good. I don't even think they should get their own league. I'm sorry. Because giving them their own league only supports the idea that being trans is a thing. It's not.
You know, when the dollars dry up, then it will go away. Down. When people stop, supporting this shit, which, I mean, it can't run itself on... without people's money. Right.
So that's why I'm saying dual economies are needed at this point. Now, if liberals want to pay money into this, that's fine. I don't. I don't want my tax dollars going to fund these mental psychological disorders. And it's not one of those things of live and let live anymore because you're not letting me live. Now you're forcing this everywhere. You got your fucking your gay colors everywhere. It's fucking annoying.
They are.
It's
the
fucking
trans
annoying.
colors, the trans flags. It's like everybody's and they're not.
Yeah.
You're pandering to the wrong crowd.
Exactly. It's just that's where we're at. But the UK government will supposedly crack down on biological males and women's sports. Britain's Conservative Tory government is preparing to crack down. But Culture Secretary Michelle Donnellan is supposedly preparing to crack down on the inclusion of biological males competing in women's sports. And this is needed. Like, this is fucking needed. They should never have been allowed in the first place. And again, the only reason we got this is because you had liberals out there fucking chest thumping about, we want inclusion. It's like, you got it. It's like, but all you're really doing is undermining women. And liberal women will sit there and applaud this while they have their identity wiped out. Mm-hmm. It's not men. Women, this is something y'all need to really understand. This is not men. Men are not the ones that are being targeted here. You are. because you're the weaker sex. Not because of the fact that you're a woman. It's just that physically you're weaker. So these men that are weak in the male category transition to women because they feel like they can belong in that category and dominate. That's how they feel. And women are the target. You don't see men having their identity attacked. You don't see these trans men coming in.
You don't.
I mean, you see them. They're just looked at as like, ugh, what's wrong with you? And you steer away from them. They're not real men. And then you look at these women, though, and it's like the women, straight women
trying so
and
hard to
normal
grow
women
a
are the
beard.
ones being attacked. They're the ones being erased. They're trying to erase their role in society. And now you've got these dudes pretending to have menstrual cramps, pretending to bleed. I saw this one article where they're taking ketchup packets, or it's a food coloring, and it's a biodegradable, meaning when it gets wet a little bit, it starts to degrade. And they're sticking it in their buttholes, and then that's their bleeding. I'm not lying about this. I am not. Or they're sticking in their man-made vaginas. And there's another thing that I think people don't realize. Like, you trans people, the surgeries that you're wanting to go through are so against biology. They're against Mother Nature, because what they're actually doing surgically is giving you a lifelong medical problems of what you're going through. I remember we showed you the one TikTok where he talked about that he basically turned his penis into an innie or whatever they did, and they had to basically has to go in there and like stick something inside of himself every day to keep it from closing up. It causes massive issues. He might have to get surgery again. It's like, what did you think was going to happen when you try to surgically alter your body into something it is not? And I do have a very good question for all the transgender people out there. And look, I don't care if you're conservative. You still have a mental disorder. And it's not something I'm going to support or clap or say that I'm friends with you to say, oh, look, I'm friends with a trans, but it doesn't fucking matter. You've got a mental delusion. And to sit there and try and normalize this basically goes in that agenda. This is not something that we should be hailing. It's kind of like, oh, I've got a black friend that's conservative. He's my token black friend. Okay. So you do the same thing for transgenderism. It's just like, but what's the difference here? You're trying to showcase you've got one of them on your side, but them is still a psychological disorder no matter which side of the political spectrum they're on. So how can you embrace this and say, freedom? This isn't freedom anymore. They're going after the kids, and the government is allowing it. There was a show apparently at Buzz Brews here in Dallas. There was a child-friendly drag show.
Down in Deep Ellum?
I'm waiting for it to get firebombed. I hope it does. I hope somebody does go in there and they firebomb the fuck out of it. Because, again, society has to take it upon themselves when these freaking perverse people in the LGBT, and ladies, it's your fault as well, because who are the normal goers of these drag shows? How many of you women out there, and I've had conversations with ex-wives, I've had conversations with ex-girlfriends. Oh, it's great entertainment. It doesn't stop there. It never stops there. Oh, they're so fun. Oh, I bet they are. But now they're bringing children. And what did you do this entire time? Oh, the gays are so funny. The gays, and this is what you get. And here's the thing, you can't even refute or rebut me on this or have a rebuttal because it's happening. It happened in fucking Dallas. Yeah. So all you straight women, all you conservative women, are you starting to see how traditionalism with morality actually is good for society? Because as soon as you start embracing these homosexuals out there, these men dressing as women and saying, oh, it's just such great entertainment, what came next? Now you got them bringing children into it because secretly that's what a lot of them truly want. They want to fuck kids.
Love is love.
Love is love.
Love is
you
love.
need a bullet
Come
in the
on.
fucking head. I hope somebody does firebomb that place. I hope they do. If they burn it to the fucking ground.
Here's a question for you. Who do you think, if one of those events does get firebombed, will do it first? Will it be extreme Christians or the Muslims?
Shit. Muslims aren't going to fuck with it unless it's directly going after them. And Muslims will fight back. Yeah. When Christians get the same idea, you'll start to see a change. When Christians start getting violent, as they deservedly should be at this point, you'll start seeing a change. You'll see the government try and crack down. But with Christians, once you go after one, more are going to start coming out. And they're going to see, like, this is an attack on faith. This is an attack on Christianity.
There's a pretty big Muslim population here in the United States, right?
Oh, absolutely,
yeah. So, and
leave it to the Muslims to get violent when you go after their religion.
I feel like there's been some polls taken about the Muslim faith, how much if they agree with the Quran and following the laws of Muhammad, that they they don't really stand for this stuff.
But then again, it goes against religious freedom. So, like, I get both sides of this, but at the same token, it's just
I'm not saying it's right or it should be done.
Yeah. I'm just saying when you go after the children, all bets are off. Constitution's gone.
Yeah.
Now it's just a matter of nature.
Because these
nature
kids
should take you out.
Like Muslim kids go to public school. So if they're trying to enforce this on public schools and they're trying to teach these kids who are Muslim, of a Muslim faith, about homosexuality, transgenderism.
Maybe that's what we should start doing. Flooding the school, like get more Muslim immigrants to come live in here and then let them get violent.
I think it's just going to take one of those instances to where you're going to piss off one of those parents, and
they're going to chop somebody's head off, and then it's the LGBT versus Islam. Yeah, and you know that fight's never going to happen. The media will never let that happen.
Now that will last about a week.
That would last for a very long time.
You think? No,
absolutely.
I think they would finish it in about a week. Like, I think they would go ahead and start to
it would send the LGBT into hiding, and Muslims would hunt them down. It'd be. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's one of those things. Like that's society correcting itself because the government that was duly elected by the people for the people failed to do their job.
Yeah,
I'm
not saying stayed out in the first place.
Exactly. This should never been allowed. Once children got involved, CPS should be involved. These liberal parents should be locked up, have their children taken away. It's disgusting. It's a moral degeneracy. It's disgusting. So, but.
Just my 2 cents anyway.
No, I agree. Biden's reportedly spent 163 days in Wilmington home where Secret Service claims no visitor logs exist. Remember how you said time and time again, whatever the Democrats accuse you of, they themselves are doing.
Yeah.
If you haven't been watching the news, like this last week, Biden got busted for classified documents.
That guy
classified documents in his Corvette.
Democrats are such
scumbags.
Such dummies.
Trump had the Secret Service look where his documents were locked up in, and they said, good to go, change the lock, whatever, good to go. And then Biden has had this for 6 years, 6 or 7, since the Obama administration is when he's had this. I'm sorry, longer than 6 years.
2017.
Yeah, longer than that. So when you're sitting there and you've got like these Rob Rainiers, like that fat piece of shit. I hope somebody like just fucking throws that guy off a fucking bridge. And I mean that. I hope somebody chucks that fat fuck off the bridge. He's a piece of shit. When you have these people sitting like, oh, Trump is such a scum, blah, blah, blah. Your boy just got busted. And folks, I'm not saying this is going to lead to anything to where like the DNC is going to turn on Biden, but it's pretty damning and it's not looking good right now. I'm not saying that as a person that leans right. His own people are starting to turn on him because there's no way out of this.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Dominic Izzo because I was kind of thinking the same thing.
I like Dominic.
This is something that they're going to use to boot Biden out of office.
Yeah,
so I think we start to see more and more Democrats get behind, and then the other douchebags on Twitter who get these talking points will start to get on board, on with getting him out, and he just can't possibly.
I think
Peter Ducey completely filleted him.
Like, I love the fact that
he looked like a scared child.
Yeah, I love
when
the
Ducey
fact
was like, "What
were you thinking?" He's literally saying this to the president.
He's shuffling his papers. He's like, "I'm going to talk about it."
It's almost like a nursing home attendant scolding an old man. It's like, "What were you thinking, Grandpa?
Hate him real hard.
Applesauce." Like, I'm sorry. I just want to sniff kids. Peter Ducey is like the right's version of Jim Acosta, but he's actually right. I love it. I love it.
He just.
What were you thinking? A reporter says to the president, that's how little respect we have for this old degenerate anymore. What were you thinking?
You know, you had the Chinese Communist Party funding the University of Penn to where they had access to all this stuff. And this is, I mean, I wonder what information was in those classified docs, because Bongino talked about that this information had to be viewed in a special room. Like it couldn't be viewed outside of a special room.
Right.
So if it's at a university, if it's sitting next to his Corvette,
then clearly
in a garage, which Hunter Biden has access to, and somehow is getting paid by all these other foreign nations, including China. But nobody, they're like, oh no,
apparently Joe Biden has on his taxes that his son Hunter Biden was renting out his bedroom for $50,000 a month.
Yeah, nobody. They're like,
I'm like, wait, what? What?
These idiots
it's
continue
bad.
to defend this guy.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Like, what do they have?
Joe Biden is not a good person.
On the Joy Behards, where she's like, well, we know Donald Trump is a thief and a liar. We know, but Biden is honest. Like, have you seen the internet? Going all the way back to '88, where he plagiarized his speech, lied about his academics.
I saw a tweet in reference to that and about all the lies he's told about being the top of his class, on a scholarship,
He's
did
a liar,
this,
and
did
that's
that.
when he was all there.
Yeah, that's when he was all there. This guy has done so much lying. It's like, and here's the thing: the left just loves him for it. The left just loves him for it. Not that there's any politician that's
that they love
clean or
him.
anything, but oh my God, they love this dude. But right now, it's not looking good for him. The Oversight Committee asks why Biden's attorney searched home after special counsel was appointed. Trump gets a raid from the FBI at Mar-a-Lago. This guy gets his attorneys to go in there and find the documents. Are you not seeing the difference here? This is like Katie Hobbs investigating her own election. It's like, dude, when the system is thought to be rigged and the people that were accusing them of rigging it are doing their own investigations, do you not see the stupidity in that? Do you not see the ignorance in that?
I don't know.
It's just,
Hopefully this Congress comes in here and
see.
puts the wood to the Biden administration. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm
Like
not
going
going
in
to
there-
lie. Right now, I think they already passed the bill going after the IRS agents. That's not going to be funded. So I will give McCarthy credit. So far, he's starting out strong. Let's see if he maintains this.
I want to see what's in the Biden or the Hunter Biden laptop.
Fuck yeah.
If they have that information,
Absolutely.
it needs to be released just like the January 6th footage. It
Yeah.
all needs to be released.
Yeah.
And, you need to expose these assholes.
I agree.
That
I
continue
agree.
to screw over the American taxpayers at
Yeah.
every chance they get.
What do they do? What do they do? They just
Hit you
reel
with
like the
billion
same
bi-
pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Same pieces of shit.
And then they trot out that, paying off student loans. Like,
Did you
so.
see the thing that Joe Biden said? I don't know. Like, also, one look at this dude. Like, the Botox in this guy is. Look.
It can't be the same Biden. Are you talking about Biden?
Yeah, Joe
I
Biden.
mean,
Like, he's
it-
full
they
of
must-
Botox.
they
How much
must have, like,
surgery has this guy had?
They must have like 3 or 4 Joe Bidens that they trot out there.
The Biden we see now is full of so much chemicals, so many chemicals. He looks like the Crypt Keeper. Like, bro, let age come naturally. We're all going to die looking like dried up prunes. It's okay. That's human nature. Most of these people, women especially, they're going to open up their graves after they've been dead for like 50 years, and they're going to just have like plastic attached to their skulls. It's like, what the fuck is this? It's disgusting. It's weird. But Joe Biden says, this is not a joke. Not a joke. He says, Joe Biden claims he attended a black church every day after morning mass. The level of pandering of these white fucking liberals to use towards black people to get the black vote of approval. White people, let me explain something. You don't need approval from black people. Who gives a fuck what they think about you? Who gives a fuck what anybody thinks about you? Why are conservatives so fucking scared, especially on Martin Luther King Day, that you feel like you have to pander to the MLKs? You have to virtue signal just to showcase how not racist you are. For example, did you see the MLK statue that was just unveiled?
I couldn't tell what that was, dude.
It looks like a giant turd. Who fucking thought this up?
It's like, it looks like somebody's holding on to somebody's legs
Or
going
a
down on
giant
them.
penis. It's the
like-
weirdest fucking thing. It's called The Embrace. Sculpture looks, intense reactions, looks like a penis. Like, who approved this? This had to go through approval process. Everybody's like, oh, no, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. The hands holding a large looking turd. What the fuck is that?
Johnson, you nailed it. I love it.
Good job.
Can you make it look more like a penis?
Black dick.
A big black dick.
The new Boston sculpture honoring Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King has sparked intense reactions on social media due to its abstract depiction of an iconic photo. Titled The Embrace, the $10 million bronze sculpture unveiled in Boston. I'm sorry, $10 million fucking dollars? $10 million of taxpayer money went to this shit. You spend so much fucking money removing Confederate stuff, and then you take the same amount of money and you put MLK tributes. And it's like, dude, we've already got that. What fucking more do you want? Yeah. All this is just more black supremacy trying to be pushed into white culture. That's all this is. That is all this is. Don't think for a second this is really about MLK. It's not. And what I love about this, the hypocrisy of MLK, is the same people on the left that worship Martin Luther King Jr. And there's nothing wrong. He's a good dude. Don't get me wrong. Like, he spearheaded an amazing movement. But at the same token, the FBI went after MLK. They painted him as a communist. And then the same liberals today that are praising MLK are turning around sucking the dick of the government, the same three-letter organizations that tried to assassinate this guy. And you're like, you cannot make this up. Because the most of you liberals and conservatives, to be honest, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You sit there and you lord these people up as if like the saviors of black people. It's like J. Edgar Hoover hated Martin Luther King because he was black. The same FBI. And you sit here and you praise it. It's like, oh, because as long as the FBI is against Trump, then everything else can be expunged. Hey, if the KKK came out and hated Trump right now, bet your ass the left would love them and embrace them. I bet you. No, we should be tolerant. Be tolerant of different opinions. Absolutely. Let's be tolerant.
I'm just trying to figure out what they were thinking when they're like spitballing ideas.
Okay, the embrace.
We had like a big bronze cock.
What if it was like a black person embracing a white person to show unity? Now let's make it a turd. We're going to embrace the turd. Because that's what the statues were. That's like fucking turd. $10 million. So for you same liberals out there that want to go after Elon Musk, it's like, you could have solved world hunger with all your millions. What could you have done with that $10 million that you blew on a stupid fucking statue?
A 3-ton penis.
3-ton penis. 3-ton black cock. Way to go.
Big bronze cock.
Way to celebrate Martin Luther King. Nah, dude, just the insanity that has gripped our society. I'm telling you, we are living in the end times. The flags or the red flags are there. The prophecies are coming true. And I'm not sitting here trying to preach to people, but at the same token, it's just like, God's going to have his revenge. He's going to have these people are going to burn in hell, and justifiably so. Justifiably so. These disgusting, immoral degenerates. You're starting to see why now traditional values of what's kept society booming and progressing, and now we're stepping backwards. Now you're watching society de-evolve. We were progressing forward, we were making strides, new technology, but now we're spending it on basically pandering to the lowest percentile of our society, the underbelly, the mentally deranged, and all we're doing is hoisting them up and propagating them as if they're fucking heroes because they want to chop their dicks off and insert a vagina. Like I'm just, that's the basic truth of it. I'm the raunchy Ben Shapiro here, and I shouldn't. That guy's a fucking genius. I'm not, but still. Even John Cleese comments on Twitter and says untrue to suggest that European countries invented slavery, because that's all black people want to do. That's all black supremacists want to do. They want to blame it on whitey. You don't want to take any personal responsibility of your own culture and your own race's blood on its hands. Just blame whitey. Well, this is one cracker that's not fucking pandering to that bullshit. You're not. Maybe on Instagram and Facebook I can't call you out, but here on this show, I'll fucking say it. I don't care. Black supremacy is real in this country, and it comes in this form right here. Trying to say that it was white Europeans that invented slavery. No. John Cleese nails it, though. And I find it very interesting to see, like, I don't want to say allies, but people that I find myself agreeing with on social media that I never would have thought what I would have agreed with. But John Cleese tweets out, he says, I think it's untrue to suggest that European countries invented slavery. Cleese told his over 5 million followers on Twitter. The pyramids were not built by independent contractors, nor by volunteers, he added. Sadly, this disgusting practice has always been a worldwide phenomenon. Suggesting otherwise looks to me like a form of racism. Because that's exactly, and I don't have to read the comments on this thing. All they're going to accuse him of is trying to deflect and saying that that's just what a white supremacist would say. But it's true. It's very true. And liberals are going to hear a statement like that, and they're going to interpret it as, I'm white, and it's not white people's fault for slavery. He's basically saying that all cultures have blood on their hands. But this is, our society has become so fucking weak, this is what we're pandering to now. Whose fault is it? It's just finger pointing. It's finger pointing. And black reparations. And what about, here's what we should be celebrating today. Forget Martin Luther King Jr. Let's take a hand out of the liberal playbook today, folks. What you should be posting on social media today is like, hey, I want to take pause and have a holiday put into place to celebrate all the white men that died to free the slaves in the Civil War. Let's make MLK Day about that. Let's undermine the liberal agenda and let's piss them off. You know how they do with Columbus Day? You know how they do with every day, the 4th of July? Let's do that. Let's ruin their holidays, folks. Let's fight fire with fire, because by God, we've gone too long with playing nice and turning the other cheek. It's time to grab the whip and beat the money changers out of the temple. Kick the trans people out. They're not fucking wanted. They don't know what bathroom they even use anyway. It's the truth. Start ruining their holidays and start making about white people. Let's do it. Liberals want to do it. Let's do it as well. Let's bring back white pride. There's nothing wrong with being white. Now, am I actually proud to be white? I don't give a fuck. Who gives a shit about their skin color? Only people that give a fuck about their skin color, it just means they're losers that have nothing else going on in their lives.
Yeah, I never really thought about it until I walked into an all-black church.
No shit, right? No shit. Every single time.
But it was very accepting.
I saw a comment. One dude's like, where's this black supremacy you're talking about? Representative Sheila Jackson Lee introduces bill criminalizing conspiracy to commit white supremacy. Criticism of non-white people. That's called free speech, and you don't get to fucking curtail it. You don't like it? Shut the fuck up, cunt. Oh, and you're black, so you're a black cunt. There you go. You can't stop that. That's free speech, baby. And liberals don't like that, especially black liberals. Black educated liberals don't like hearing that because they just know they can manipulate and control other black folks into seeing that conservative white people are racist when in fact it's the exact opposite. It is 100% the exact opposite. You look at this, Sheila Jackson Lee is a black supremacist. She's basically trying to say you should not be allowed to criticize any minority if you are white, because if you do, that is white supremacy.
Yeah, she's a racist.
She's a big-time black racist.
You know,
so all these people in these comments, where's the black supremacy? It's because you've got your head in the sand, and it's under the banner of equality. It's not equality. It is supremacy. Mm-hmm. It's the idea of trying to curb one group of ethnical people, racial or whatever the case may be, from criticizing you when you get to criticize us non-fucking stop. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of the attacks on Christianity. I'm tired of all this bullshit. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Move somewhere. Move back to Africa. You love it so much, move back to, because here's the deal. Even Africans don't want black Americans because you are so out of touch. You have no idea what poverty is like, especially over there. Black Africans do not like black Americans because they view them as fucking lazy. They view them as lazy and entitled. Oh yeah, that's the fucking truth. But that's the conversation nobody's really going to talk about. Yeah. They won't have those conversations, but it's the fucking truth. So let's talk culture. Let's talk culture. Can't do that. So I love it. I'm African American. No, you're a black American. You've got nothing to do with Africa. How dare you try and associate yourself with a country riddled with poverty, hunger, disease, still dealing with a wildlife that wants to fucking kill you. What the fuck do you know about that? Not a goddamn thing. Not a single fucking thing. I have a dream. I got a dream. Where black people will stop trying to use African roots to get themselves some benefits in America. Where you've had chances and opportunity, equality, affirmative action. I guess it makes me a racist for saying this. It's the fucking truth, and you just don't like to hear it. Because liberals, you're tone deaf, man. You are tone deaf as fuck. If Martin Luther King Jr. were alive today to see this bullshit right now, and I would say that probably on both sides. Let's not even paint this guy as if he was a saint. He's not. He was. He cheated on his wife, all kinds of shit. But look, I get it. He's a human being, and what he did still is incredible. There is no taking that away from him. Yeah. But to see how people have abused look at what he said. Judge the man by the content of his character, not the color of his skin. Do we see that? Fuck no, we don't. Yeah. The left does it. The right does it. Turning Point did it. You want to divide people based upon ethnicity, religion. That's all you're doing. You are further segregating because essentially people want to feel like they belong to a community or a group. Therefore, it's called fucking groupthink. And these same groups of people that think that you're on their side or they're on your side are actually not. They're participating in the identity politics they've always fucking done. And the right does it to the left and the left does it to the right. And either way, it's intellectually dishonest. And who's left in the middle? People like us, can you just shut the fuck up already and just let me live my life? Just let me live my fucking life. That's all I want to do.
There it is, buddy. I think
there it is. There it is. We should make a statue out of John Burke.
That's right.
Holding a big black dick. Can just confuse people. Was he gay? Did he have a black lover? It's no, it just confuses people.
Just
aimed at the mouth. Martin Luther King, white guy sucking his dick. Oh yeah, it's just so good. Oh my god. Move over, Howard Stern. You got a new shock jock in town that's just more intelligent than you and better looking with a bigger dick. And there you have it. I need to get a black producer, though. That way people can't say I'm racist. So John Burke's a racist like both producers.
Well,
black. I got a Jew. I got a Jew.
Sicilian is...
No. I got you. You're a Jew. Hey, Josh identifies as a Jew.
Yeah.
He identifies as a Jew. Well, I got to get going, folks. I got an appointment to go take this thing off. I'll have this podcast uploaded later on today because I got to come back after that. But appreciate you tuning in. Again, don't forget to support shellshockcbd.com. You want to support the show. Also, don't forget to check out our locals page. I'm probably going to start a WhatsApp community because I think more people are using WhatsApp than Telegram.
Yeah.
Although maybe not, because I know WhatsApp is owned by Facebook. Maybe that's not a bad, not a good. Yeah, WhatsApp is used by Facebook. Maybe not a good idea. But anyway, appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here. You guys are fucking awesome. My lost savages. Support us over at Shell Shock. If you want to support the show, go to Locals. The button is on my Rumble profile. Hit that thumbs up button. Share it with your friends. Share it with your folks. You want to help us out. You want to support us. Tell your friends to listen to the show. Send them a link to the show and let them hear and tune in. It's funny. It's controversial. It's John Burke Uncensored. That's what the world needs more of. All right. You got anything to add, my man?
Yeah, don't forget about our iPhone 14 giveaway this month.
Yeah, buddy.
Spend $50 or more,
Yep.
and you are automatically entered to win.
Damn, that's awesome.
I think you're going to love it.
I have a dream that you enter this iPhone 14 giveaway. Joe Biden went to a black church. Yeah. I'll see you tomorrow, folks. And as always, you have a great day, and you stay savage, America.